Hello dear learners, welcome to lecture 3 of foundational course on child's growth and development, and lecture 3 is stages of development from infancy to adolescence, and we will going to cover infancy, stages of development, infancy from birth to 2 years, early childhood 2 to 6 years, late childhood 6 to 12 years, puberty approximately 12 to 14 years, adolescence 13 to 19 years, and finally there are certain references to read more. Dear learners, again I welcome you to our continuing journey into child's growth and development. In the previous lectures, we learned about the meaning, characteristics, principles, difference between growth and development, and educational implications of growth and development for teachers, parents as well. Today's session marks an important step forward. We will explore the major stages of human development from birth to adolescence. Understanding these stages is vital because each child of life brings new patterns of growth, new challenges, and new educational needs. As parents or caregivers and teachers, recognizing these stages help us provide developmentally appropriate support and learning experiences. So, in this lecture, we will cover the 5 major stages of child development. Infancy from birth to 2 years, early childhood 2 to 6 years, late childhood from 6 to 12 years, puberty approximately 12 to 14 years, adolescence from 13 to 19 years. Let us begin with the first and most delicate phase of human life, that is infancy. Infancy from birth to 2 years. Infancy, or the period of the newborn, is according to standard dictionaries the beginning or the early period of existence as an individual, rather than as a parasite in the mother's body. Dictionaries also define an infant as a child in the first period of life. Each period in the lifespan is characterized by certain developmental phenomena that distinguish it from the periods that precede and follow it. Now we will learn about the physical, cognitive, language, emotional, and social development of infants. Physical development during infancy. Infancy is a period of rapid growth. Infants grow at a rapid pace during the first year of life. By the time an infant is 4 months old, it usually doubles in weight, and by 1 year has tripled its birth weight. Height increases by about 25 centimeters in the first year. By age 2, brain is at 75% of its adult size. Fine and gross motor develop swiftly. Infants learn to lift their heads, roll over, move their chin up when lying on the stomach, moving the chest up, rocking back and forth on hands and knees, crawl, stand, and eventually walk. These changes follow 2 universal growth trends: pattern of growth cephalocaudal principle. Growth proceeds from head to foot. For example, infant gain control over the head before the trunk and legs. Proximodistal principle. Growth proceeds from the center to outwards. Infants move arms before using fingers precisely. Cognitive development during infancy. Cognitive development, a key aspect of child development, is a fascinating journey that begins at birth. According to Jean Piaget's sensory motor stage, from birth to 2 years, infants learn through sensory experiences and motor actions. For example, a newborn infant's cognitive development primarily involves sensory exploration of their environment, which gradually evolves into more sophisticated cognitive functions. Infants begin to understand cause and effect. For example, shaking a rattle produces sound, and by about 8 to 12 months, they develop object permanence, realizing that objects continue to exist even when out of sight. Then they become, it's not like that out of sight is out of mind. They develop that object permanence here. Language development during infancy. Babies move from cooing and babbling to their first meaningful words by about 1 year. By 2 years, they can use simple two-word combinations, we say two-word utterances, such as mama come or give ball, or they say in Bengal, ami uncha, indicating towards, blocks meaning mummy, see I have stacked the blocks high. Ami is a Bengali word, means मैं, or in English I. Now we will see through a table language development milestones in infancy. From birth to 2 months. Milestone is crying, primarily communication method. This is the primary communication method during birth to 2 months. 2 to 6 months, cooing, vowel like sounds, oo, ah. 6 to 9 months, babbling, repetitive syllables, ba, ba, da, da. 10 to 12 months, understanding simple words, first spoken word, like mama. 18 to 24 months, two-word sentences, mama come, more juice, or I said above, ami uncha, mama juice. Emotional development during infancy. As emotions play an important role in life, it is essential to know how they develop across the developmental stages. From infancy through adolescence, children undergo critical emotional changes. Infants are born with social instincts. They like to be held, talked to, or looked at. About 3 to 4 weeks after birth, the infants begin to smile knowingly at parents and siblings. By the 4th to 6th month, infants can distinguish between strange and familiar phases. This is called stranger anxiety. Early childhood, approximately 2 to 6 years. Let us now discuss the next fascinating period, early childhood, often described as the preschool years, extending from 2 to 6 years of age. This stage is also known as the golden age of play and imagination, because children become curious, energetic, and eager to explore the world. During these years, their bodies grow steadily, their language blossoms, and they begin to develop self-control, independence, and social awareness. Physical development during early childhood. Physical growth during early childhood is steady but slower than in infancy. According to Centrock and NCRT, children gain about 2 to 3 kilograms per year. They grow approximately 6 to 8 centimeters annually. By age 6, the average child weighs around 18 to 20 kilograms and stands 110 to 120 centimeters tall. Body proportions change. The head becomes smaller relative to the body and the torso lengthens. Motor coordination improves rapidly. Children can run, jump, draw, and use crayons to draw. Gross motor and fine motor skills they develop. Cognitive development during early childhood. Piaget's pre-operational stage, that is 2 to 7 years, characterizes thinking in this period. It is symbolic. Children can use words, images, or play to represent objects. But thinking is egocentric, means they see the world mainly from their own point of view. They struggle with logical reasoning, but have rich imagination. Language development is remarkable here. Vocabulary grows from about 50 words to over 2000 words by age of 5. Emotional development during early childhood. Emotional life becomes richer and more differentiated in this period. Children express and recognize a wide range of emotions: joy, anger, fear, jealousy, pride, guilt, and empathy. Temper tantrums may occur due to developing independence and limited self control. By age 4, children develop self concept, an understanding of who I am. They begin to describe themselves using physical and psychological traits. I'm fast, I'm good. Emotional regulation improves through modeling and guidance from adults. For instance, when caregivers label feelings, I know you are upset, children learn to name and manage their emotions. Social development during early childhood. Social development refers to the gradual process by which a child learns to interact with others, form relationships, and develop a sense of self in relation to others. Play is the work of childhood. Through play, children learn cooperation, sharing, problem solving, and empathy. Peer relationships become important. Children begin to understand gender roles and fairness. Cooperation, taking turns, and empathy increases with social maturity. The family remains the primary socializing agent through affection, discipline, and modeling values. Preschools provide the first structured setting for sharing, following rules, and respecting others. Now let's see late childhood, that is from 6 to 12 years. This period, also called school age or middle childhood, is one of expanding horizons. Children enter formal schooling now and become increasingly social and capable. It refers to the developmental stages that typically starts from 6 years to 12 years of age. Physical development during late childhood. Growth remains steady, though slower than in earlier years. Muscular strength increases, coordination becomes refined. The child practices, refines, and masters complex gross and motor skills, fine motor skills. Children enjoy active play like running, cycling, sports, which builds endurance and teamwork. Cognitive development during late childhood. Piaget's concrete operational thinking replaces egocentrism, fostering logical and rational child cognition, along with the development of perspective taking abilities. Piaget described this as the concrete operational stage, that is 7 years to 11 years. Children can think logically about concrete situations. They grasp concepts like conservation, reversibility, and cause and effect. Their attention span and memory improve. Language becomes more sophisticated, enabling problem solving and academic learning. Emotional development during late childhood. Stability and regulation. Emotions become more stable and controlled. Children can delay gratification. They don't want now immediate pleasure. They can wait for their needs to meet, manage anger, and understand others' emotions. Self-concept and self-esteem. By around age 8, children develop a more realistic self-concept based on competence and social comparison. They begin to evaluate themselves. I'm good at drawing, but not at maths. I'm good in sports, but not that much in academics. Encouragement builds self-esteem, while constant criticism can create inferiority in them. Social development during late childhood. Children now expand beyond the family, prioritize friendships and peer connections. They imitate age appropriate social roles, including gender specific ones. Peer relationships. Peers gain increasing importance now. Friendships become more stable based on shared interests and trust. Children learn cooperation, fairness, and conflict resolution. For example, a 9-year-old who plays team games learns teamwork, how to work in teams, patience, and communication skills. Gender identity and social roles. Awareness of gender roles deepens now. Children imitate adults of the same sex and internalize social expectations. Moral and group behavior. Children begin to respect group rules and develop a sense of belonging to family, school, and community. This sets the foundation for civic and moral responsibility. Now we will discuss the most important stage before the adolescence, puberty, approximately 12 to 14 years. Puberty, a short but powerful stage making the shift from childhood to adolescence. It usually begins from 10 to 12 years in girls and 12 to 14 years in boys, lasting 2 to 4 years. Puberty brings rapid physical growth, hormonal changes, emotional fluctuations, and emerging self awareness, all of which prepare an individual for adulthood. Physical development during puberty, controlled by hormonal changes in the endocrine system, particularly growth hormone, estrogen, and testosterone. Primary sexual characteristics, maturation of reproductive organs, menarche in girls and spermarchy in boys. Secondary sexual characteristics, visible changes such as breast development, voice change, body hair, and increased perspiration. Growth spurts occur. Height and weight increase sharply, especially between 11 to 14 years. Major physical changes through table it is explained. Onset is, for girls it is 10 to 12 years, for boys 12 to 14 years. The key hormone in puberty is in girls estrogen and in boys testosterone. The key event here is menarche in girls and spermarchy in boys. Growth peak 11 to 13 years, and in boys it is a bit late, 13 to 15 years. Cognitive development during puberty. According to Piaget, children around 12 enter the formal operational stage. They can now think in more abstract ways. They reason logically and consider what-if situations. Adolescents begin to question rules and explore ideals, an early sign of critical thinking. For example, a 13-year-old may debate fairness in school policies or think about global issues like climate change, global warming. Emotional development during puberty. During puberty, since child's body undergoes hormonal and physical changes, they feel uncomfortable about them and become overly sensitive about their physical appearance. Rapid hormonal shifts cause mood swings and sensitivity. According to Erickson, the individual moves from industry versus inferiority towards identity versus role confusion. Puberty sparks self-consciousness and a search for individuality. Who am I? Teachers and parents must respond with empathy, not criticism. Emotional support builds confidence and resilience. Now we will see social development during puberty. Peer influence becomes strong now. Friends provide validation and belonging. Desire for independence can cause minor conflicts with parents or teachers. Interest in the opposite sex and gender awareness begin to emerge. Educators should promote respectful relationships and group activities to guide healthy social behavior. Puberty is often called the gateway to adolescence. It brings physical maturity, emotional sensitivity, and intellectual awakening. With understanding and guidance, this stage becomes a period of positive growth rather than confusion. Now we will see the most important stage in the life of an individual child, adolescence, from 13 to 19 years. Adolescence often described as the bridge between childhood and adulthood. Adolescence extends roughly from 13 to 19 years. We generally say teenage, and is a period of rapid physical growth, emotional turbulence, social exploration, and identity formation. It is often called the storm and stress stage, a term first used by psychologist G. Stanley Hall, but modern psychology views it as a time of opportunity and potential rather than chaos. Let's explore this critical phase across physical, cognitive, emotional, and social dimensions. Physical development during adolescence. By adolescence, the changes initiated in puberty reach completion. Growth in height and weight stabilizes by the end of this stage. Muscle strength increases and the reproductive system becomes fully mature. Body image and appearance become central to self-esteem. Physical highlights of adolescence. Let's see through a table. Growth pattern slows down after earlier puberty spurt. Sexual maturity, completion of reproductive organ development. Physical fitness, strengthen and stamina improves. Health focus, nutrition, hygiene, and fitness awareness are vital here. Teachers should emphasize balanced diet, exercise, and self-care, not comparison or body shaming. Cognitive development during adolescence. According to Piaget's formal operational stage, that is 12 years plus, adolescents begin abstract and hypothetical reasoning. They can think beyond the present, imagine possibilities, and analyze complex ideas. Idealism develops. Adolescents now question rules, fairness, and social issues. Metacognition means thinking about your own thinking. It emerges, helping them reflect on decisions. Let's take an example. An adolescent might critically discuss climate change or debate fairness in school rules. Evidence of growing reasoning power. Now let's see emotional development during adolescence. Emotional life deepens. Adolescents experience intense feelings, self-consciousness, and a search for meaning. Erikson's stage of identity versus role confusion, that is from 12 years to 18 years, dominates this phase. Adolescents explore, who am I? They ask this question through roles, goals, and relationships. Success leads to a stable identity. Confusion can cause anxiety or rebellion. For example, choosing a career path or forming opinions about society reflects emerging identity and autonomy. Social development during adolescence. Peer relationships become central now. Acceptance by friends influence self-worth. Family bonds remain important but often show temporary tension due to the adolescent's need for independence. Interest in the opposite sex increases as social awareness matures. Role models, teachers, celebrities, mentors begin shaping ideals and aspirations. Teachers must guide students in handling peer pressure and developing positive social values. Dear students, adolescence is not a problem to solve, it's a potential to guide. When teachers and parents listen with empathy, encourage exploration, and provide consistent values, this stage becomes a journey of growth, purpose, and identity. We can conclude this. Remember that every stage of development is valuable and deserves sensitive, informed guidance. No stage can be skipped. Each contributes uniquely to the making of a balanced, capable, and ethical human being. In our next lecture, we will look at the nature of the problems of adolescence, exploring the challenges and opportunities this fascinating stage presents to teachers and parents alike. Thank you for your attention and curiosity. Keep observing, keep reflecting, and keep learning, because understanding children is the first step to truly educating them. There are certain references you can refer for more details. Thank you and happy learning.